Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. This is our fourth pop-up event. I am Ted Ings. We're here in beautiful Albany, New York at the DePaula Automotive Group. Tom Rustino, VP of Operations, is joining us. Tom, very impressed with your staff so far.
Thanks so much, Ted, for coming to Albany. It's fantastic to have you here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much.
And here we have the women.
The women of the DePaula Fixed Operations, real important piece, real structure for us.
So, ladies,
Biggest pieces.
if you would, let's go right down the line. Introduce yourselves and then what you do at the DePaula Automotive Group.
I'm Beverly Keenan. I work in the parts department. I'm a parts advisor.
I'm Natasha, and I'm a certified service technician. I'm Mackenzie Albin. I'm the BDC manager for Ford and Mazda.
I am Tracy Perigo. I am the service manager at Chevy Service Department.
And I'm Lori Barrett. I'm with DePaula Auto Group, and I wear many hats, so I'm all over the place.
So, ladies, there are a lot of preconceived notions. A lady working in the automotive business historically, it's been known as a male-dominated industry. Some of your thoughts on that? Bev, if I can come to you first.
In the beginning, for me, I mean, I've been here for quite a few years, 38 to be exact. And in the beginning, it was tough because guys didn't really trust you that much. But as time went on, everything was so much better, and everybody gets along. It's great.
Right. Natasha?
As a woman in the garage, you definitely have to prove yourself a little bit more than others. So you have to really know your stuff before saying anything. But once they, like Beth said, once they trust you, definitely. If you
And Mackenzie, I will ask you about that as well. You know, male-dominated industry and your thoughts.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to prove yourself a little bit more as a female. But as a female, I think we're more organized. Customers love to see females in the dealership, so absolutely. That's positive.
And I think, Mackenzie, it would send a message, you know, when a dealership does not have women, okay, whether it's in the service lane or in the parts department, okay, it sends a message to the customer as well if they don't.
Yeah, I work a lot with the phones and customers directly. And a lot of people actually request to work with a woman when they come in. So it's great that we have all these women here.
I love it. And Tracy, you and I met earlier this morning on the service drive. You know, so important. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you definitely as a female service manager, because there's not a lot of them out there. And the big thing as far as our dealership, which I try to work with everybody on, is empathy for the customers, because you never know what anybody's dealing with when they enter that service lane. There's a lot of women that come in now. It used to be their husbands brought their vehicles in. Today, there's a lot of women out there, but they're working a lot of, you know, they have busy jobs. We have a shuttle service. So when they see a woman in there, they are totally put at ease, especially when you walk around their vehicle, as we did this morning with the lane process. When you teach them things about their vehicle, things that we're looking at just from their tires to their brake fluid, they're like, wow, I feel like so much more at ease. I was very nervous about coming in here. So definitely makes a big difference having females in there.
Absolutely. Lori Barrett.
So, I've been with the dealership for 8 years, and immediately I felt, like I was part of the family. Tom brought me on, and I've grown with the company so much over the years. And now, customers always ask me, what do you do for DePaula? And honestly, I say a little bit of everything. And so there's so many opportunities here as a female in this industry. And I honestly can take credit for Tracy because I brought her on. She's been a friend of mine for 20-something years, and she's done a phenomenal job.
DePaula definitely gives you lots of opportunities to run the girl for sure.
Wait, would you say, ladies, there's a career path?
Oh,
here,
sure. Absolutely. I thought I'm almost retired, so.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
All right.
More years.
All right. So Bev, let me come back to that. How have you seen the industry change over the years, in terms of, women in the dealership?
The technologies now compared to when I started are fabulous. I mean, it's so much easier looking up a part now than it used to be.
Sure. Tracy, how have you seen the industry change over the years?
Well, the biggest thing, again, is having females in the workforce. And going back to another question from earlier, as far as being a female out there and gaining the respect from the males out there, because at first you have to have a strong personality to do this, and you have to be firm to let them know you know your stuff. Again, with technicians, parts, customers. I mean, everybody all around. So it definitely, years ago, it wasn't like that. It was just, you walked in, there was men everywhere, just male technicians. This is amazing. I mean, just to have female technicians is fantastic. Women in the parts department, women in management. I mean, so there's definitely, it's evolved. It's definitely gone to another level. And we all bring a little bit, to the table, so.
I love it. Mackenzie, how have you seen it?
Yeah, to piggyback off of that, there's just way more opportunities for women now than there used to be in the automotive industry. I started off as a delivery coordinator here at Paula, and now I'm in management. So they definitely give you an opportunity to grow. Women just aren't in accounting anymore. Obviously, all of us are in different departments, so that's great.
I love it. And, as we go around the country, Tom, we see a lot of women now who are women dealers, okay? The general manager, the dealer principal, is a lady as well. So there's definitely a career path. Absolutely. And Natasha, it's, a good time, I think a great time to be a lady in the car business right now.
Especially being young. Well, yes. She's got a good chat.
Mackenzie, talk to me about how important are customer service skills right now in our industry?
Customer service is basically my entire job, so it's very, very important. It's good to we need to build a healthy relationship with our customers so that they trust us, so that they come back, so that we have repetitive business. So it's very important.
Who else would like to talk about those customer service skills and how important that is in our industry?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we live in such a different times today. Just over the last 2 years, customer service is like at its all-time low in a lot of areas. For us, we try to bring it as high as we possibly can because, as I stated earlier, you don't know what people are dealing with in this world outside of that dealership. Nobody wants to go to a car dealership. They want to go and they're like going to the doctors. It's like it's good. It takes their time and it's going to cost you money. So whatever we can do to help them, educate them, make it a good, positive experience when they come back in, they're looking for you and you're hearing, wow, you did such an amazing job, that we feel comfortable. What can you help me again? And if we can get all our advisors on that same page that they're treating their customers like you don't know what they're dealing with. So let's make it a great day for them and do whatever we can to get them to come back.
And Tracy, how did you come up in the industry? And then I'll come back to Mackenzie.
Well, I will tell you, I knew a lot about the car business only because my husband was in it for many years, sales and finance. So when he was a big car guy, so I knew a lot about stuff. I've only been in it a couple of years. I started off as an express advisor and just grew, but I have customer service skills, and Lori knew that I would be a good fit. And I met with Tom and my boss, other boss, Dennis, and decided to give it a shot, and I love it. I do. I love it. I wish I'd been in it years ago, but I was raising a family and, but I'm in it now for the long haul. I wish I had youth on my side, but I know what, I don't plan on retiring, so.
Mackenzie.
I was just going to go along with what Tracy said about customer service. We have a lot of programs here at DePaula to make it easier for customers as well, which I like our pickup and delivery service, where we can go to the customer, pick up their car, bring it back, fix it, and deliver it right back to them. They don't waste any time in the dealership. They're not waiting. They can do other things with their day. So,
excellent. And Tom, you provide a lot of tools here at DePaula for your employees. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, we do. One thing that we're seeing with these young women is empathy that they're showing to our guests when they show up. That's a big piece, showing empathy to our technicians, and that's a big piece that we want to have. We have more women in the fixed operations, as you'll see going along today, but it just keeps the ball rolling. Just keeps everything going. You got to be diverse with everything, correct? When Mackenzie says we have a pickup and delivery, times are changing. Times are changing. What are we doing for the guests when they come in? Not everybody wants to come into the dealership. So we offer pickup and delivery in all our locations and showing that empathy. No one wants to come into the dealership, but they have a nice surprise when they see a friendly face or someone that can meet their needs. It makes it a little bit easier, and we welcome that, don't we? We want to welcome everybody immediately when they attend here.
And Bev, you pointed out as well, not only do they provide the tools, but you mentioned earlier, maybe the best tool of all, this beautiful new Mazda facility that DePaula's got.
It's fabulous. It took a long time, but it's good. It's good.
Well, ladies, thank you so much on behalf of the Fixed Ops community. Appreciate your time today. Everybody, the women of DePaul are here at the pop-up event at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Our revolutionary pop-up events have sparked a new wave of growth and innovation.
Become part of the brand that is shaping retail fixed operations at fixedopsroundtablecertified.com.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I am Ted Ings. We are at the pop-up event at DePaul Automotive Group in Albany, New York. We're with the great parts department leaders. I'll have you introduce yourselves, gentlemen, starting with Mike, who you are and then what you do.
Mike Hensel, parts manager for the Ford store.
Tom Salmeri, assistant parts manager for the Ford store.
Brian Lumnicki, parts manager for Mazda.
Jason Rott, parts manager for Chevy.
Steve Luciano, assistant parts manager for Chevy.
And Tom, I know you have spent a lot of time and a lot of years building this parts empire you've got at DePaul. Tell us a little bit about that.
Basically, we have a great facility where we work on taking care of our customers through the service lane, which they can manage the gross profit and making sure that's efficient. But the biggest piece that we work on is building our wholesale business, and we work together on Friday afternoons and look at our logistics, how we grow that business, not just for our Chevy business, not for Ford, but Mazda. Because if Ford is someone that one of our wholesalers is buying Ford parts, I want to make sure that they buy Mazda and Chevrolet and accommodate everyone. And we'll talk about cycle time today. Cycle time on our actual customers out there. Cycle time is important for those body shops or automotive people that we're accommodated. And we'll have some good stories that this panel will answer. Some good stuff here.
All right. So, Mike, let me start with you. How do you, as a team, grow that wholesale business here at DePaul?
Well, first of all, we have outstanding outside sales representation. And it doesn't just start with the guys that are calling on customers hot and cold. It's our drivers. They are the face of our dealership, and we rely on them to do a lot of our networking for us. And on top of that, it's just having an outstanding, strong inventory. So cycle time continues for the customer. There's no wait time. We have the part. We're not going out to our parts distribution centers to get that part. We're pulling out of our own inventory. So, customers love it. And our best customers are our competition, which is a pretty good feeling. Right, guys?
Yeah, I love it. Tom, how about you?
I think our network of drivers, they communicate between each other, find out the most efficient runs between them, and we go everywhere, and we don't go. We can cover a greater area with less people.
Yeah, super. And Brian?
So for us with Mazda, it's actually the communication and utilization of our drivers from GM, Chevy, and Ford. With us being the smaller of the unit, we rely on our current drivers to not only deliver our parts in a timely manner, but to get out, hey, we're here, let us service you as well. So, our drivers for Ford and Chevy are a huge part of it as well. So,
Jason, we learned a lot about these drivers and trucks. How many trucks do you have on the road here altogether?
Between the stores, we have 17 trucks on the road. And that's important to us. That gives us a greater opportunity for a greater coverage. A lot of our customers within the 50-mile radius or greater, we're able to get to even twice a day if need be. They, out of the order, if they forgot to get a piece or they got a piece that came in perhaps damaged or wrong side or whatever the case may be, we're able to get back out there and correct that problem for them the same day. Goes back to that cycle time, getting that car done and down the road for our wholesale customer so they can get on to the next one.
I love it. And Steve, if you would.
I think the biggest thing is the relationships. The relationships that our parts guys build with our customers is so important. We have almost 70 years worth of experience between our four guys, and they have such good relationships with our customers. They call, they know them by voice. They pick up and they know the voice as soon as they answer, and it's just an ongoing thing of just building relationships, and people buy from people, and I think that's super important. So,
Steve, you're so true. This is a relationship business, right? No matter what you do, it all comes back to a relationship and having that great relationship. I want to come back to the cycle time if I can. Jason, tell us a little bit more about that, the importance of keeping that cycle time, high with their customers.
It goes back to the ability for our wholesale customers to keep their productivity high. If we're able to get them the parts out of our inventory as opposed to selling out of the warehouses, so to speak, then that allows them to get a car completed faster, get on to the next task faster. It allows them to build their business and grow as we grow with them.
And Brian, wholesale is such an important part here at DePaula. Not every dealership is into the whole wholesale business the way your group is here.
No, absolutely not. And it's a very large piece of what we're trying to do here, and that's our biggest opportunity, is to not only continue serving the current people that we have, but getting our name out there to everyone in this area. So,
and parts has a lot of different roles, right? You've got that front counter, you've got the counter that works and serves the technicians in the shop, you've got the wholesale piece as well. There's a lot of components, and you've got a lot of people that you're managing as well. Talk to us a little bit about that.
The people are what make us successful. So I'm fortunate enough. I have someone that works directly with me with over 35 years experience, knows the Mazda parts like the back of her hand. We're very fortunate where we have some programs and technology that makes it a little bit easier for us as well. But the people we have, whether it's our drivers that we're utilizing with Ford Chevy, my counter person, myself, that's what is making us successful.
I love it. And Mike, we're having the technicians here on the show today, and the technicians sell hours, but really they can't sell them without the parts.
Exactly.
So parts sell hours. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, the parts department plays a huge role to our three biggest customers, which is our body shop, our service department, and our sales department. And we try to daily streamline the process so we can continually raise that bar and just grow as a team.
Yeah. Another big part of that, too, is the investment that Mrs. DePaul has allowed us as managers to make. The investment in the inventory, it's by far the biggest in the area. And that just goes to help us, like Mike said, with our in-house customers, or like Brian was saying, with out on the road. So it really, that kind of helps tie it all together for us.
And Tom, that speaks to the tools that you at DePaula provide.
The tools they talked about, they're supplying the customers with our inventory, and it's about turn. And we talk about it weekly about how we're turning that inventory to make it's about people. I mean, we talked about our wholesale desk the other day about Jason took a call for a wholesale desk, and they wanted to talk to the man on the wholesale counter, and they called back. They deal with people. It's a people business. That wholesale business it's all about people. But we know what we have in our service lanes. We know how we can do that. We know how we can adjust our gross. But the wholesale business is so big, and to use it and put our name out there is so important to us, and we strive on that.
Steve, a lot of dealerships, and we're going to talk today to some of your folks in Recon in detail about the importance of the used cars and turning them in the used car inventory. But a lot of dealerships, don't realize that it's important, just as important, to turn that parts inventory as well and keep that moving. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we take great pride in making sure that we have little to no obsolescence, making sure that the parts that we have in stock are up to date. Parts that are obsolete sitting on our shelves is nothing but wasted money. And so we make sure that everything is up to date, that we're stocking what people buy and getting rid of the stuff that people don't buy. And it helps us with, that turnaround and making sure our technicians have what they need, making sure our wholesale customers have what they need. And it's super important to make sure that you maintain that.
Jason, talk to us a little bit about that inventory.
It's a challenge to keep it like it is, especially in the wholesale business. Mike can attest to that too. As large as the wholesale business is, a lot of returns obviously come along with that. So it's a constant challenge to stay on top of that. But to be able to turn that inventory, over $1.25 million in investment that we have, to be able to turn that 6 to 8 times a year it speaks a lot to our volume. It speaks a lot, again, like Tom said, to our people. The relationships they've fostered. People know who's everybody's favorite football team is, and kids' names and everything else. It's really something. It's a business within a business, if you will.
Ryan, your team does a great job here with parts. Anything you want to tell your peers out there in the country, who are watching in today on the importance of parts and the awareness there?
I mean, as everyone said, parts, service, parts, and wholesale, they all go hand in hand. You need them. The biggest thing is, as we've all said, is that we have it in our shelves. We have it in our warehouse. We're not waiting days for it. So we're getting it out to our clients as quickly as possible so they're not sitting on it and waiting on it. So, I mean, inventory is everything.
All right, Tom will come to you, and I'll give Mike the last word.
We have a great deal of experience. We have over almost half of our people have been parts managers, so we look up the right part the right first time and make sure we get it out to the customers quick, and even in our own service shop.
I love it. Mike, last word.
Well, between the entire auto group, we're really proud of the 3 million plus inventory. We stock, we sell, we succeed, and we just keep the ball rolling. And it's all about 100% the team.
Everybody, it's all about the people here at DePaula. Great thanks to the parts leaders here today for sharing your time with us today. Don't go away. We have a lot more coming up. We're at the 4th pop-up event at DePaula Automotive Group here in Albany, New York, at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. We will be right back.